delivering the full release as usual, so the last few months were a crazy ride. So yeah, I will be that insane. I wish I could forget.
The starting point was the original board game, but translating it to a 3D video game was a tough challenge. We struggled with the engine, and the team had to learn a lot to be able to make it look interesting and optimized at the same time. So, knowing our technical limits, we focused mostly on atmosphere and color. Inspirations changed depending on the regions. For example, the first open map draws a lot from the misty coasts of British Isles. And you could say that the fields of Quanacht are partly inspired by the culture of our homeland, as well as the monsters that inhabit those fields. But for the weirdness, we wanted something more unique. So the locations were inspired mostly by the warm colors of the paintings of Zdzisław Beksiński.
Oh, there are many systems that were very hard to make, but I think it's better to give you two systems, not one. We have quest systems, and quest system itself is quite easy. You just complete objectives and quests, and there's no much philosophy to it. But then you have NPCs, and when you interact quests with NPCs, and the quest requires that NPC is in a given position, but NPC just decided that he wants to go to sleep and he's in his house, in his bed, and everything collapses, and debugging such mess is terrible, and we had to spend a lot of time doing it. So yeah, I think it was the hardest one.
I don't think anything seemed simple at first, or easy, or anything like that, but I think we all thought it might get easier with time as we proceed, but yeah, no.
Desaturating everything would be too simple, so to avoid the generic look, we decided to focus on the aesthetics of the dying myth, corrupted legend. And to do that, we tried to mix the rawness of Middle Ages with the more creepy side of the Arthurian stories, and after that add the cosmic horror element of the weirdness. And I think you can mostly see that in our armor designs, because we weren't afraid to use organic shapes and textures where you would usually expect to see steel and stone or leather.
Let me start with saying that Unity engine is an awesome engine, and I mean it. But saying that, somehow we have decided that creating an open-world RPG game in Unity is a good idea, and I'm not sure how it happened, but here we are. And yeah, Unity optimization and open-world streaming features and stuff like that, it just doesn't work out of the box. So there were a lot of limitations, how we handled them. Mostly we just omitted Unity as much as we could. We created our own systems that were aside of Unity, and we used our own custom solutions. That's how we made it.
It's a bit of philosophical question, because to me, the game's finished when the team stops working on it, so...
My favorite part of the game is definitely the map of our expansion, Sanctuary of Saras. I think especially the location where the player finally meets the legendary Nimue. I was happy to hear that players loved the change of scenery and our bolder choice of colors. I think we successfully made the designs look weirder, more alien, but At the same time, they were still complementing the complicated story of Saras.
We created an open world RPG in first-person perspective in Unity with kinda realistic graphics. I think we are the only game like this in the world. That's very general, but that's the thing that I'm most proud of. If I wanted to go more specific, the game consists of hundreds of different levels, and they are all interconnected together with each other via quest systems and NPC systems or other interactions, and it all works seamlessly and without bigger problems. That's something that you don't notice when you play the game, but it was quite important for us.
I think that's the joy we bring to our fellow players, because at the end of the day, that's what matters most, that you guys love our game.
I love that Tainted Grail is a game made by passionate people and that it was made for enjoyment of the players who are loyal to this genre. Our community is amazing and so engaged, and we loved to work with their feedback, and we loved to see how they actually had fun playing our game. In addition, when I see the rough edges of our projects, I don't see just mistakes. I see proof of how much we learned as a team, how much we learned as artists, and I think that growth is beautiful to see.
I must say that I love that the game was positively received, and there are a lot of players that played our game and they enjoyed it mostly. That gives me motivation to make even better games and work harder. That's what drives us all, I think.